I had much more elaborate plans for this video. This is two Fridays ago tomorrow. Um, I was gonna put in this other video. There's this really great video of a young deer stomping to death a hawk that tries to kill a bunny. Like, this hawk descends on a bunny, and this deer comes spinning around and stomps the hawk to death, like, over and over and over and over and over and over again. And it's not that I'm necessarily in favor of, deer killing hawks, but like what that says about how this young deer feels about death, about killing, and about its little rabbit friend. I often see deers. I work on a lot of back roads and like second homes, um, and or just back roads in general. I guess there's a lot around here, but um, you know, I wouldn't say it's all the time, but quite often I find deer and turkey hanging out together. Um, anyway, I'm no Steven Spielberg and I'm no Ken Burns, so I'll have to leave the longer oration for another time. But this was my last Friday. This was my last day of almost like every day for I don't know what it was. After 2 weeks, things start to blur, but somewhere between like a month and 2 months, I was at this job every day except for one day that I was working, and that almost never happens, and I never would have made these friends otherwise. And this day in particular, on my lunch break, I didn't get it all on video because it happened so fast, but like a bunch of other chipmunks, I guess, finally caught the drift or had been watching long enough and maybe noticed, because sometimes when the main chipmunk that I feed, there were two, well, there's one main one, then a kind of main secondary one, but then there were others too, around. And sometimes when the one I fed all the time, oh, there's another one. Sometimes, yeah, I'd always chase him off, so when he'd fill his cheeks, or she, I don't know, fill his cheeks and run off, I'd have about, minute and a half, 2 minutes before he came back. So give me enough time to get out of my car and go throw some pumpkin seeds to where the other one was. But anyway, that day, it's like they all came out of the woodwork, and there was this one point where like 3 sets of squirrels, like there were 6 squirrels, two, of like chasing each other all around. And I went through all my seeds really quickly that day. Anyway, this is that bird from several videos back. I made a video where the chipmunk was checking out this baby bird, like probably within moments of having departed its nest. First time out of its nest. And the chipmunk's by the bird, and I'm thinking like, oh, this is going to be some nice little hallmark moment, and nope. The chipmunk tried to fucking kill it and eat it, and I didn't realize they do that to baby birds, so otherwise I wouldn't have did. I figured out later when I googled it, but I didn't know that at the time. Anyway, was able to kind of save that little baby bird, and but it's been different, and I think it was a runt to begin with, because I saw this other baby bird, because there was this bird, and it was like, warming its eggs or whatever for, I don't know, several weeks before these birds hatched, the baby birds, and right in the entryway of the house I was working on, and this little, I saw the other baby bird and it was a lot bigger, but anyway, this one seemed like a runt to begin with, and it can't fly very high, and I don't know, because I think the chipmunk kind of injured it pretty bad, and it got pretty startled, and maybe it has some like psychological damage, maybe it was slow to begin with, but you know, mentally and so on. But I saw it a few times try to fly high, and it doesn't. But it can fly, but it tends to fly from low branch to low branch, and it spends a lot of time on the ground, and it almost spends a lot of time like a chipmunk does. Yep, there's a chipmunk. But anyway, I don't know if you saw it there a little bit back, but a little bit backwards, like the chipmunk comes up to the bird and like then leaves. And my thought is like, what if that's bird shadow? What if that's the chipmunk? I have a hard time telling them apart, but what if that's the chipmunk that tried to kill the baby bird and then didn't because I made such a fuss when it tried to the first time, and now it's come upon this bird. It doesn't chase it away, doesn't try to eat it, it just leaves it alone. And I'm thinking, like, did I Pavlovianize, like in kind of a good way, in a compassionate way, or you know what I mean? Like, did I create such a ruckus? And I know the squirrel saw me looking at him. He's always, anyway, there it is, little bird, all good now. Anyway, I know that's kind of a romantic idea, but it's possible. And not only is it possible, but it's possible as a scientific, like, experiment, and it's possible as a process. Anyway, here I am at my parents' home, and I'd stopped by there to drop off a card and a little gift for my mom, and for her birthday. And it reminded me, because it was the next day, it reminded me of the first time I killed a baby bird with my BB gun when I was in, like, I don't know, 5th grade maybe? 4th grade, 5th grade. Anyway, I'm walking out to the point right at that tree line, almost straight ahead from where my dad mows. My dad will just mow like a few strips a day. It's funny, there's always all these weird different patterns in the backfield at my parents' house. Oh yeah, and I wanted to check out the Queen Anne's lace. My parents know. They don't know the full story of why I'm into it, but they know I have a wicked thing for wild carrots. They'd be shocked and probably mortified if they watched my channel, but anyway, yeah, I was just thinking about that, and it's tough with birds, but it was just reminding me of when I had done that and the way I had thought about, like, life and wildlife back then, and how kind of shocked and devastated I was after I killed that first baby bird. I remember, I'll say more about it at some other time, but it was a shocking, devastating experience, and it happened right there. And anyway, I saved one. A couple years back, year or so back, I saved another one.